proof or disproof of a God. So when you say it's because the Bible says so, all you're saying is because this thing that no one can prove or disprove says so.
We
and
just
now I got to take you to move.
Brother, you're being rebellious right now.
No, I'm being,
see, this is why we went into slavery.
Logical.
This is why, no. Being logical is believing in the Bible. Okay?
Do you know about slave history?
We're reading it. Was your people sent into slavery on ships over here to America? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you didn't come here by option. You came here of slavery. Okay. Did you know that that was in the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know that. Where at?
You can keep your servants up to 7 years, and then when they're free, you can hold on to the loved ones.
You're talking about Leviticus 25.
Right. Okay. So I'm talking more about how did your people get over here to America? Slavery on what? Like, did y'all have a plane, or did y'all walk over here? What transportation did y'all come over here with? The ships, right? Okay, so that's what I'm trying to tell you, that the Bible actually has that recorded. Okay? What? Yeah, you're looking like, what? Yeah. Do you know who this is? The guy that's trying to be Jesus. Good. Good. Yeah, because you know that that's not really Jesus. Caesar Borgia, Leonardo da Vinci, right, painted him trying to force this image on us during the Renaissance period when they came back in power. Exactly, good. That was iconoclasm. They would take a black image of Christ, and then they would just whitewash it. You know, they would paint a white Jesus now. You know what I'm saying? That's what they would do. That's good that you know that. Watch this, about the slavery.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 in verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So God said, I'm going to bring you into Egypt again with ships. Now, why did he say Egypt? What were the Israelites in Egypt? What type of class were they? Were they ruling? Were they being oppressed? Were they slaves? What? The Israelites, when they were in Egypt, we were in slavery. So when, give me Exodus 20 and 2 real quick, so you understand. Exodus 20 and 2. Egypt is synonymous for bondage or slavery. Okay? I'm going to just prove that real quick. Watch.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
So I brought you out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the house of bondage.
Egypt is known as what?
House of bondage.
See that? House of bondage, house of slavery. So when you read Deuteronomy 28 and 68, this is already after we was out of Egypt. See what I'm saying? This is when Moses, he already parted the sea. We already came into the wilderness and all that stuff. Now he's saying this. And this is actually a curse that would happen to the Israelites if we did not keep the commandments. That's why he's saying this. Watch.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
God is going to bring you into the house of bondage again with ships. Now you said we came over here on slave ships. That's because we broke God's commandments. This is why we came over here. A lot of people don't know how do we even get over here? Why are we slaves? Why do we have to be at the bottom? Why are we first fired, last hired? Why are we in Section 8 and government food stamps, taking the bus? You see what I'm saying? Why are we in poverty? Why do we have to get over here and work our butts off for hundreds of years with no pay? It's because it's a curse. We the Israelites. God said, if you don't want to keep my commandments, I'm going to send you into slavery on ships. You're going to have to serve the white man. You're going to get sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. Right. If you want something to eat or drink, you're going to have to go to their places, their businesses. You want clothes, you're going to have to get it from them. Right. This is all in the Bible, I'm telling you. All in the Bible. So, see what I'm saying? Read that.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt not see it no more again.
And if you didn't know, we have not seen our homeland, right? We wasn't supposed to see slavery again. We wasn't supposed to be in slavery again. After we got out of Egypt, we were supposed to be free. We were supposed to be good. We were supposed to be keeping the commandments, and our kingdom would have been on earth still today. But since we broke the commandments, Now we got to be in slavery. We have to keep the commandments again to get out of slavery. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Were we not sold to our enemies after we got off slave ships? We was not partying. We wasn't able to go to a state fair after we came on these slave ships. We were sold to our enemies. For what?
For bondmen.
For slave men, like you seen Roots, like you seen Django, like you seen 12 Years a Slave, like you seen Underground, and all these other movies and shows that they show you we were sold to our enemies. All the history books. Read.
And bond women.
And our women was in slavery too. Listen, they slaved our whole nation. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
You had people like Sojourner Truth. You had people like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman. Shoot, someone would say Barack Obama. All these people have tried to save us. But guess what? It didn't happen. It did not happen because only Christ can save us. Only Christ can save us. Give me that 48. What we're doing right now is proving that we're the Israelites. You cannot leave here today without knowing, you know what? I don't know if I believe in the Bible or not, but guess what? I gotta be an Israelite. See what I'm saying? Because these curses or prophecies were prophesied way before it happened. See what I'm saying? Way before it happened. So this Bible has to be real. It has to be true. Right.
What makes the Bible true?
Because were we not sold into slavery on ships? Did we not come over here from Africa on slave ships and it was prophesied thousands of years ago? For slavery, who else did?
A lot of people.
Name one nation.
Black slavery is so significant. Always for a single race. That's why black slavery is significant. Not because we were just slaves. Slaves have always existed. In fact, slavery today, there have never been a higher number of slaves today than the entire existence of humanity. And that's just another country.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, no one can, I can't, no one can. Name a nation that went into slavery on slave ships and was sold and had the atrocities that we had. There's nobody else that has had that.
That's right.
Because even the Hispanics and natives, they went to slavery as well on slave ships.
Africa is not a country, it's a continent.
Okay.
It's made up of a bunch of countries.
Okay.
So you got pretty much almost all of those countries. Plus you have the Middle East. The Middle East showed their own people as well.
That's where we come from. We come from
China
Jerusalem.
did the same thing. Why do you think there was a big
Give me
thing
Exodus
about
11 and
China
7.
immigrants and slavery as well? It wasn't as bad as the black, but they were there too. They built the railroad.
Okay, so do you think that our people sold our own people into slavery?
I think we were tricked into selling our own people.
Okay.
Africa was in a lot of wars. I mean, we never seemed to ever got along. And we would sell our enemies to the white people, or we would capture them, or we're trying to seize their power, we would remove them and just send them in slavery.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, we did not sell our own people into slavery.
I'm just saying, we were not at peace loving us.
And we are not Africans.
Right, right.
So if that be the case, let me ask you this. There's over 50 countries in Africa. So what nation sold what nation? If that's the case, if our own people, thank you, if we sold each other, what nation sold what nation to the so-called white
I mean,
people?
nations are pretty big, so it was more,
Right.
there was more tribes selling off tribes.
So my question again is, what nation sold what nation? If the thought is that we were tricked into selling our own people,
And that's not
what
the-
nation of people are you talking about? That's the question.
Anyone who was affected by slavery.
Was that everybody? Was it all nations?
No, whoever's here, these descendants of slaves.
So who are these people that are here? What
I
nation?
can't give you a specific
This-
name. That's also what makes
Right.
slavery so damaging, is that there is no record of us. We were treated like animals.
Right. Do
So
you understand?
You
But
asking me to name something that is not kept, there's no record of.
But do you understand that that's a curse that God said would happen to the Israelites?
I don't believe in the Bible.
Deuteronomy 28, 37. Let's get it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Deuteronomy 28, proverb and a byword.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
So the Lord said, here in America, you would be a proverb and a byword. A proverb is like a wise saying, like black people are lazy, they don't like to work. Mexicans, all they do is work, right? Or they'll work for nothing or whatever. And a byword, you know what a byword is? Any name that's given that you call yourself outside of your God-given name, which would be Mandingo. I'm gonna give you another example. African American. So you think about that. African American. That's two completely different places. That's two entirely different continents. So how can any of us be an African American when that's two completely different continents? So if we're gonna say, okay, African Americans sold other African Americans, well, we wasn't even in America, so how can we be African Americans? But God said that that's a curse that he put on who? Deuteronomy 1:1. Let's see who Moses is speaking to. Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. Unto all Israel.
28:15. So I'm going to show you. So Moses is speaking to all of Israel, the Israelites. That sign right there. That's who Moses is speaking to. And let's see what Moses said. Come on.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
The thou is all Israel. So Moses said, if thou wouldn't hearken, meaning if all Israel wouldn't hearken,
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So do you understand that calling yourself, like you mentioned, not knowing who you are in another land is a curse. You being called an African American is a curse.
Right.
And it's prophesied in the Bible. God said it was going to happen to one specific nation of people. You can't say that about the Chinese.
Right.
You can't say it about the Japanese, the North or South Koreans. You can't say that about anybody else because it only happened to you. What's your name, brother? Antonio. It happened to you. It happened to me. Prior to coming into the knowledge of who I was, according to God, I was considered a black man, an African American. God says I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. I'm going to show you.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction.
So we were sold, were we not sold on auction blocks? After we came off them slave ships, come on. God said not to destroy us,
but because ye moved God to wrath.
Because we moved our God to wrath, meaning we pissed the Lord off. As a nation of people, we pissed God off. Yes, God gets angry. Unlike what you hear in Christianity, where it's all hugs and kisses and lollipops and gumdrops, we pissed God off to the point where he did this, where he put us in slavery. He put us on slave ships. I'm going to show you why. Come on.
Ye were delivered unto the enemies, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to God.
You know how we sacrifice to devils now? By going to the Christian church, by breaking the Sabbath, by worshiping this image right here, by celebrating Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day. That's how we sacrifice to devils. Come on.
Ye forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
And guess what? We grieved our God. We angered our God because we broke his commandments. That's what we just read in Deuteronomy 28:15. Let's go back to that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
God said it will happen. It will happen. It shall come to pass.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
God's voice is the Bible, the commandments. If we wouldn't listen to his voice.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
To observe and do God's commandments. Come on.
And statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, do you understand? So, why did the Lord put these curses on us? Based on what we read in Deuteronomy 28.
Okay, so what
Because what?
We just come on.
How? By doing what?
By celebrating all these holidays.
Right, which is doing what? Breaking the what?
Supposed to be worshiping the devil.
Well, no. But we're supposed to be doing what? So yeah, we were celebrating Christmas, so on and so forth, but based on Deuteronomy 28:15, he said we were supposed to observe what? Observe and do what? Read that part.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Okay.
So why did we piss God off? Because we did what?
We didn't follow his orders.
There you go. We
What did
broke
we
the
want?
commandments. Huh?
Why didn't we follow his orders?
Because we are a rebellious people.
No, that's bullshit.
No?
That's bullshit.
No? God said it. Give me that Ezekiel 3. Okay, so let me ask you this. Name me some commandments.
Thou shalt not kill, not make,
Right.
pray false idols.
Right?
But did
Do
you
you
know
pray to false idols?
There's like 4 different sets of 10 commandments in the Bible alone.
Okay, I'll give you an easy one. How about the Sabbath day? You know when the Sabbath day is?
Hold on. I want to go back to that commandment part. Why is there 4 different sets? Because
4 different. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what you mean by 4 different sets.
4 different.
Oh, you mean 4 different types of laws? Sacrificial,
No, there's
ceremonial.
like,
I
there's-
wouldn't. I don't know what
there's
you're
the
talking
2
about.
tablets that Moses brought out, and then a few crates later, there's another one with a different set of rules.
They're all commandments.
They're
Like
not consistent. And they're
like
all
what?
trying
Like
to
what? Give me an
follow-
example. Give me an example.
I actually don't know.
You
them.
so-called blacks, Hispanic. 1 second. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You're the Israelites the Bible speaks of.
That's
They're the
right.
greatest nation of people to ever walk the face of the planet.
That's right.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Like, I can't give you specifics, but
Well then, I mean, how can I deal if I don't know what you're talking about? How can I address it? I can't address that. So let's go to Numbers 15:38. We'll go to something. We'll go to this, and then my brother will deal with the Sabbath.
okay, here's the
So if
question.
we're talking about that,
Here's a question I always wonder. Why
Uh-huh.
is it so important for us to worship a God?
okay, good question. Numbers 15:38.
Numbers,
I'm gonna give you one right now.
Numbers chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them.
The word bid means command the children of Israel. Force the children of Israel.
That they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
So God told the Israelites to make them fringes in the borders of their garments, meaning at the bottom, throughout their generations, meaning not just during the times of Moses, not just when we were there in the wilderness. He's talking about for us today. That's why he said throughout your generations, meaning for us today, because we are of that seed, right? Come on.
Oh, wait.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
So on the fringe, you put a border of blue. That's why that's why we have the blue on there. Come on.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe.
So what's the purpose of the fringes? What's the purpose of keeping God's commandment?
That ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them.
So this particular commandment God gave the Israelites so we would remember all of the other commandments. I can't steal from my brother Antonio, right? I can't steal from my brother Antonio. I can't lie to my brother Antonio. I can't punch my brother Antonio in the face. That's what this specific commandment is for us to remember how to deal amongst each other, how to love you as I love myself, how to see Christ in you like I see Christ in all these other men.
So what is the 10 Commandments?
That's in Exodus 20.
What is it?
You want us to read, what's the specific question? We're not going to read a whole chapter. What's the specific question?
I would just like to know what are the 10 Commandments. There's only 10 of them.
Exodus 20. There's more than 10. And there's more than the 2 great commandments that you read, Romans 13. I'm going to let you go into it.
Okay.
Okay, so you just said, is there more than 10 commandments when we just read a commandment about you have to wear fringes? See what I'm saying? So,
After you looked at like 4 at that time.
okay, watch this. Now, your question was, or no, your statement was that that's BS, that we didn't keep God's laws or something like that, right?
No, you said something like...
We went into slavery because we didn't want to
Because
listen.
we didn't follow God's
Exactly,
order,
and then you said that was BS. Why?
And I said it was BS that...
He said we were
that
rebellious.
we're incapable of making decisions for ourselves.
We're incapable.
Yeah, because,
Give me that in Deuteronomy.
because humans
Deuteronomy,
chose to not
what is
follow
it?
God's
About
order.
choose.
We don't
33,
get any reason why.
30 and 29? Or
And
19?
that whole point goes back to, just like, let's just go back to the origin where Adam and Eve.
Okay, so hold on real quick, because I don't want you to go to another subject. Now you said we're incapable of making decisions for ourselves.
Why are we? 'Cause
Why are we?
Religious people tend to believe that humans are so incapable of standing on themselves.
I don't know why.
But we got to depend on this entity that's not here. Like not paying our bills.
So you think so? Okay, you think so. I'm gonna get that. Watch this. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
So I've set before you life and death. Read.
Blessing and cursing.
Be blessed, rule the nations, or cursing, go into slavery on ships. Right? Read.
Therefore, choose life.
Hold on. So we're able to do what?
Choose life.
So it's a decision. It's a choice. We're able to choose life, keep the commandments, and live.
That's
Read.
right.
That both thou and thy seed may live.
Right.
That thou love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice.
That's right.
And so that's what we need our people to choose. So it's a choice. Now give me Matthew 6:33 real quick. Because you're saying God don't pay the bills, God don't look out for us, all that stuff. Listen, that's garbage, bro. That's garbage. God does. The only reason why we alive right now is because of God. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Watch this real quick, and then I'll let you talk. Right after this. Read.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
So when you read up, he's saying don't worry about what you're going to eat. Don't worry about where you're going to sleep, what shelter you got, the food, the water that you're going to drink, the clothing you need. He said don't worry about it. Seek the kingdom of God first, and I'm going to give you all these things later. See what I'm saying? I'm going to give you all these things. I'm going to make sure. The Lord feeds the birds, okay? What more does it make? Listen, it's a bird. God feeds the birds. What more do we think that he's not going to feed us? Of course he's going to feed us. Of course he's going to make sure that we got what we need. See what I'm saying? God feeds everybody on the planet. So what are you talking about?
How are you feeding them? If the bird is flying from point A to point B and hunting for his food, how is God feeding them?
He got the food there for him. I don't know what's
So
so
how
hard to
feeding
understand
me
it.
When I go to
How
my
would,
9 to 5
okay, so
job,
how do you think humans were created?
well, that
Would you believe the Big Bang Theory? Is that what you believe? You believe what the white man says?
no one believes the Big Bang Theory. That's why it's called a theory. It is a probability.
Okay, guess what? There's no theories about Genesis 1.
That's
Okay,
right.
this happened. Genesis 1 happened.
That's right.
Lord gave the word,
No, God put it in their hearts. Read.
and great was the company of those that published it.
Like Isaiah, Jeremiah, Baruch, all these people, David, Solomon, they just wrote what the Lord told them to write. It's proof that this Bible is real. I'm going to ask you before I read it. When you get something to eat, where do you go to get it? Supermarket, like name some supermarkets. Fiesta, okay. What else? Where else? Like maybe, okay, I'll help you. Walmart, maybe you get food from Walmart, or maybe McDonald's or Burger King or wherever, right? Our people, okay, our people go to all these other nations, okay? Where do you go, where'd you get these shoes and clothes from?
Hand me that. The shoes I bought from like a
Okay, Payless, okay. Where do you stay at? Like, do you have a home or apartment or anything?
I'm in a group home. I'm in a
Okay, apartment.
transition right now.
Do you own that apartment? Okay. What else? Something to drink. If you want water or something. What type of water? Do you pay a water bill? Okay. Do you drink water? Okay. So where do you get your water from? Okay, yes. Okay. Well, watch this. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Thou shalt, therefore, shalt thou serve thine enemies.
If you believe the Bible, you stop and listen. Read.
Therefore, shalt thou serve thine enemies.
This was another prophecy / curse that will happen to us, that we're going to serve our enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Which God sent them against us. Read.
In hunger.
In hunger. You want something to eat? You go to the supermarket that you don't own.
Right.
You don't own. Your enemies own these things. Nope. No. If you know that, then you know the Bible is real. Read.
And money. People have been trying to do
And
that
in
for years.
thirst.
And in thirst, you want something to drink? You're going to the other nations. You don't make the water or the water bottles, whatever the case may be. If you want water or shower or something in your apartment house, you got to pay a water bill. Read.
And in nakedness.
You want clothes? Guess what? You're going to go to these other nations to get them clothes. Read.
And in want of all things.
Do you happen to have a job? What about a car? Guess what? You have a driver's license? Where do you get all those things from?
gonna get away.
Your enemies, brother. Your enemies, brother.
Right.
The Bible is saying that you're living proof. You're talking about living proof.
Right.
Yeah, you're living proof of these curses.
That's right.
Okay, that means you're an Israelite.
I get
Read. Hold on, hold
no,
on.
no, no, let me talk.
The scripture's almost finished, okay? It's one more
trying to
sentence.
talk
Read.
for the people walking by.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Now, what are these things?
Okay, hold
Yokes
on.
of iron upon thy necks. Did that happen in slavery? Did we have yokes of iron upon our necks in slavery? Did we?
Who?
Yokes of iron. Like shekels. Yokes of iron. We had it. You said yes. You just made the Bible true then. The Bible is true, brother. I'm trying to tell you.
All I did was
Right.
confirm history.
And where's it written at?
Bro,
In the Bible.
That's right.
In the Bible is black history.
That's
You
right.
see that?
No.
It's true. You just said
There's
no.
a story about black people, but it's not black history.
Okay, hold on. Read that
Okay.
part again, brother.
No.
I will let you talk after this because I don't think you heard this scripture right.
I heard
Read
it.
that.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
You've seen Roots, you've seen Django, you've seen 12 Years a Slave, any slave movie, you will see that we had yokes of iron on our necks. And the he that put them on there is considered our enemies, the so-called white man. Now, that happened, and you confirmed that it happened, but this was written way before it happened.
Right.
How? Can man just make that up? No, God told Moses to write this.
That's
Read
right.
verse 32.
Verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Did that happen in slavery? Thy sons and daughters given to another people?
What do you think slavery is? All slavery is someone going to another person. All people go to other
So
people.
did we go to another people?
We're not the only one.
Okay, who else had the yokes of iron shekels on their necks?
Chinese, Mexican,
Who?
anyone
Who else
white
went into
man
slavery
ran
on
into.
slave ships?
Anyone the
No
white man
one.
ran into.
No one. No one. Go find the history. I want to see it. Prove all things. I want to see it, brother, because I don't know why you're fighting this. This is the reason why we went into
You
slavery,
know what
brother.
I'm fighting? I'm fighting the doctrine on this that our people are trapped in. But
They're trapped in sin.
I watched my mother go through this shit, and it pissed
Bro,
me
go
off.
through what? I know she wasn't no
Go through-
Israelite
go
keeping the
through
commandments.
sinning and praying for this God that never did. Her life got better
Pretty
when
sure
she
she was praying
took
to this.
action for herself.
Pretty
When
sure she was
started
praying to this, brother. She was praying to this
more
devil.
people that aren't here. That's all these people are. More people that's not here.
Give
More
me,
things that
Isaiah
make all
40.
that complicated.
Isaiah
that we
40
gotta
and like
keep
21.
unpacking history instead of focusing on where we are as a nation. We got all these wonderful programs and black people doing all these things, and we're out here trying to talk about people from 2,000 years ago, when we need to be focused more than ever on each other.
Okay, so,
And as
hold on.
fucked up as black history is, there has never been a better time to be black than today.
Listen, brother. Now, listen. Okay, you clearly don't know about your history. We had kings ruling. King Solomon, King David, King Saul. Those were our kings.
And we don't even
Okay, we were ruling
we don't
everybody
even follow
at
kings
one point in time.
anymore.
Now listen.
Okay, so then let's move it up to today. Let's move up to today. Let's look at, you say it's never been a better time to be a black man, right? Let's look at Chicago. Just as one city, right? And you're not even talking about the entire city. You're talking about the east, west, whatever.
South.
Tell me some things about Chicago. What's going on in Chicago? Give me some history. You obviously, you're very studious in terms of history. Let's see how studious you are in regards to current events. So give me some things that are going on in Chicago,
You talking about
in the black community.
the police shooting?
Huh?
You talking about the police shooting?
Now, you tell me. I'm asking you. You're a studious brother, so I'm curious as to know how you are with current events. Because you said it's never, you made a comment, you said it's never been a better time to be a black man. So what's going on in the black community today?
Okay, all of our issues are not new issues. So every issue that you hear being talked about is an old issue that's been ignored.
I'm asking you about today, though.
I'm-
I'm not asking you about
So I'm
20,
telling
50
you.
years, okay?
So everything you hear from the economic despair, that's a hard thing to bring up. You have Malcolm and Martin Luther both tried to do it, and both were killed. And the FBI just released a document like last year that said that they settled his murder with his family. out of court. But the point is, they confess and they have a document. So you have all these people still fighting for the same issue that exists before. Every time you hear about our problem on TV, that is a victory for us. Because that's how we're going to get out of this situation.
What victory? So why haven't we got out yet? Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, why are we still fighting? Why are we still having to march in the streets? Why do we still have to confess that Black Lives Matter? Why? Like why? The war is still going, but you're saying it's never been a better time. But today, you have to confess verbally that Black Lives Matter.
10 years ago, you
like
wouldn't
today.
have heard about Trayvon Martin. You wouldn't have heard about.
Are you 10 years ago? You had Rodney. Over 10 years ago, you had Rodney King.
Right.
You like. What are you talking about? And even up till today, it's even worse, Siggy. In Jasper, Texas, you still got brothers being hung. You still got the young man that, I think that was last week or the week before that, that 3 Edomites sat up and tried to hang him from a tree. He was 8 years old. That was a week or 2 weeks ago. So how can you say it's never been a better time or things are looking up? And you have to confess. You're still getting hung by from trees. You understand that? Where's the progress? I just asked you, what's the progress? I'm asking you about current events.
Honestly, the fact is standing there shouting the controversial things out of a microphone.
So you tell me, bring me up to speed on the progress in America for the black man. That's what I'm asking.
Bring it up. For the black man, it's right now social media.
Like what?
The football protest.
What football program?
Week. You didn't see any of that?
Oh, football protests?
Protest.
So what's progress is what I'm asking.
I'm saying right now, progress for us is social media. We have to change the way people perceive each other before they can actually make changes for us. And I'm sorry, but that is how humans work.
Okay, so that still begs the question, why are we still having to do, you mentioned Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you mentioned them. Why are we the only nation that has to march in the streets? Why are we the nation that has to get on one knee? Why are we the nation that has to confess that we're men, that we're human beings, that our lives matter? Why is that something that we have to confess verbally? The Chinese don't got to do that. The Japanese don't got to. When? Give me a date and give me a time. I want some specifics.
I don't know Chinese history.
So then let's not bring it up.
No.
Well, then why are you bringing it up?
Because there's great revolution. There's great
why
revolution in Italy.
Why are you bringing it up? If you can't prove it, why are you bringing it up, huh? Producer, read that.
Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 21. Produce your cause, saith the Lord. Bring forth your strong reasoning, saith the King of Jacob.
So now my question is, the same question my brother just brought out. You got all of, you know all of this history, but you can't point me to it. So then let's not deal with it. Let's just not even talk about it. You're talking about the progress that the black man has made. Let's deal with the progress that the black man has made, or the lack thereof. So now, my question. From Martin Luther King up until today, what progress are you seeing made?
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.